Okay, for our arcade feet installation lesson, this is the tools needed for the job. No, you don't need 2 drills. We just put out 2 drills because it's easier to do it for the transitions. So we don't have to switch bits in the middle of our videos. But basically, I just want to go over the quick stuff. It's pretty simple. You're going to need your countersink bit. You're going to need a 5/16 bit. You're going to need whatever drill bit you're using for your 2-inch decking screws. We use Robertson's. This is a number 2 Robertson. You're going to need your wood glue that you've been using all along, and you're going to need your smash stick hammer, and then you're going to make that work. And these are the feet that we are going to be installing. These here you can either get on Amazon, you can get through your hardware store, Home Depot, Rona, that type of a thing. These are just blade nuts, they're 1/4 inch. These ones are 1 1/4 long, but the specs and everything will be in that PDF that I keep mentioning down below in this lesson. And we are going to get started. All right, so this video is how to put on feet on the bottom of your arcade cabinet. We are going to show you our way of doing it. I'm going to give you a couple different options that you can wrap your head around, and I'm going to show you what people do in the past and companies have done in the past for different type of cabinets and where you can get that stuff. In the PDFs that follow underneath these lessons, it'll show a layout of different options, so we'll give you links to suppliers and stuff that have and carry this stuff that we don't carry, obviously. For these feet and stuff, we don't carry any of the hardware for that, but we will show you the cheapest and easiest way for this to get done, and then I'll show you the other fun stuff. So this is old, ratty, nasty, it's actually off of a Tron arcade cabinet. Now you can get versions of this foot online at suzohap.com and or Amazon. You can look for them and do that fun stuff. This one here, you just drill the hole through the bottom of the cab here, and then you just sink it in there, and then you put your screws through these holes to hold it there, and then it holds in. So it's designed to sit on the base of a cabinet where the base part here is flush with the bottom or very close to it, obviously, because it doesn't have a lot of depth with that pin. So it's about 1.5 inches that it can go out for an adjustment. But these are great, they're sturdy, they're fun, but when you're looking for them online, they get pretty expensive, and they make your life easier possibly, but in the end it does the same thing as what we're going to show you. The other option is wheels. Now, a lot of people like wheels on their arcades, and they think that maybe that makes sense and it's common sense to put wheels on it. You want to move it around, that type of a thing. If you do put wheels on it, I strongly suggest not to put swivel wheels on it, and I strongly suggest to only put 2 at the back. All right, so you can lean it back a little bit and then roll it on its wheels. Now this isn't recessed properly for these wheels, obviously, because they stick out pretty far. You want them to be like, only sticking out about 1/2 inch. When you're going on carpet and whatever, you might want to put it in taller depending on its location and stuff. But when their wheels are on it and you're playing it, it might start moving around, especially if you've got big guys playing on that. And if you've got kids, they might pull it or move it around that way. So I'm not a big advocate of putting wheels on the machines, even if they're really heavy. It just, for me, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. We don't do it. If you want to move it around quite a bit and wheels is your thing, then by all means do it. And this is how it would be done. You would have to recess your base like this, and then you can buy the wheel according to your depth. And this one's just one I had kicking around the shop as an example, but there's tons of different ones. Now, what I would also strongly suggest staying away from when you do wheels is the ones that have the locks mechanism on it. There's no way when you recess it like this that lock is going to be accessible after, to get around there. So you'll be putting it in and you won't be able to use it. It's designed to put it for your feet, or to lock it with your feet. So you'd actually have to set it so it was out pretty far so that you could reach that lever to lock the wheel itself. All right, so gone over those types of options. There is a few other options to do this. You can just plug regular feet right into, like, build this flat and flush here, and then just go to Home Depot and get the nail feet and plop them in and do it. But depending on the weight of your cabinet, it might work for something this small, but you know, obviously you want to use a little bit of common sense and use something that's going to work with the weight and size of your machine. The style and the thing that we're going to show you here, the way we do it, is going to work with anything up to about 350 pounds or maybe even 400 pounds. So we've tested it, tried, test, and true. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you how that's done. All right, so we use 2x4s, pressure treated. He's going to be gluing 3 different sides here, obviously. All right, this pressure treated lumber is good for the base because obviously you don't want it to rot out for any reason. Now we're doing the countersink because, again, on this, as you might have seen in prior videos for the different techniques we were using, the 2 woods have like a different density. So if you don't do this and you just put a screw in, the screw will go right into your wood, no problem, until it hits the MDF, and then it won't go through the MDF, and then this block will just go all the way up to the end of the screw, and it'll just be a pain in the butt. So what you want to do is always countersink your screws. It also reduces splitting of the wood. So you saw where this one here, he went in and then he had to come out and then go back in again. That's a pretty common thing. It's going to be probably do that 3 or 4 times if you don't countersink your bit or countersink your screw. So it'll give you grief. All right, what size is that you're using?
5/16.
5/16. So this specific, wait till he's done here. All right, so this specific size is kind of, you know, it's a pretty standard for the type of feet that we're going to be using here. I want to show that piece before you throw it all the way in here. So this is a blade nut, and it also has the little teeth on it. So it's got a 1/4 inch thread on here, and then it's got these teeth that hammer into the actual wood to hold it, to stop it from spinning. When he kind of did that little wobble at the end there, that was to make sure that we could get this little end in there, and the bit is a little bit, or the hole for that bit that we used is a little bit smaller than this, so it'll be a nice tight fit when he puts it in. So we're going to hammer that in. All right, so that's your foot base, and then this is our foot. So like I said, in the PDFs that we provide down below, it'll give you the exact specs and measurements for this type of a foot so that you can put that on. Now it's completely adjustable up to 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches on this one. So you do that on all 4s, and then obviously now you can level your machine out on any type of floor. We're gonna go ahead and do the other 3 here, and we'll show you how that's done. I'll just do one more, and then I'll let them do it all, and then you can see it when it's all said and done. Lots of glue. That glue almost vacuums it up to where it wants to, where we leave it to be. So this process is not only fast and easy, it's super economically friendly, fiscally friendly. So I don't want to say the word cheap, but it's a very, very, very cheap, positive setup for these type of feet. Like I said, this will hold up to like 350 to 400 pounds, no problem. I mean, obviously you don't want to drag stuff across a sidewalk in a gap or something like that. Obviously these things would probably break at that point. But if you're just using it for light use in your home and that type of a thing, the weight distribution will be more than fine. So I'll just film this. I won't say anything, and we'll just blast this through, fast forward, so you can see the outcome. Okay, so I just want to mention here before I forget is that you can see him punching that drill bit just to the MDF base. We're not going through the MDF base, we're just going through the 2x4 that we put here. You're just accounting for the length of the bolt on the foot, so you don't have to blast it all the way through the cabinet. There's no reason for that. All right, voila, we're gonna have a nice stable cabinet. We're all said and done here. Any questions, feel free. We're here.